Thank you. We're here at St James's Park, Newcastle in their black and white stripes, just coming out onto the field, led out by John Joe Shelby. One of 5 changes for the home side tonight. Steve Bruce, one eye on that COVID situation that's been hanging over the club, and possibly one eye on that Carabao Cup quarter-final you'll hear on the TalkSport Network midweek. Murphy, Lewis, Hendrick, Hayden and Fraser all dropped to the bench. His Dummett, Shelby, Richie, Yedlin and Almiron come in. Dummett, his first start in almost a calendar year. And the fullback on the other side, Yedlin, his first start of the season. Darlow starts in goal, and it's Dummett, Clark, Fernandez and Yedlin at the back. Almiron, Shelby, Longstaff and Richie across the middle. Joe Linton partners the team top scorer Callum Wilson. 3 changes for Scott Parker's Fulham, who've drawn their last 2 and just showing signs that they are improving here, and a win would lift them out of the bottom 3. They go with Alfonso Areola in goal, a back 4 of Robinson, Adarabayo, Anderson and Aina, Kearney, Lamina and Anguissa in the middle. It's Luckman, Mitrovic and now De Cordova-Reid. Ivan Caballero pulling out in the warm-up. The benches, Gillespie, the goalkeeper for Newcastle, Carroll, Gale, Hayden, Lewis, Hendrick, Pratt, Fraser and Murphy. And on the bench for Fulham, Rodak, Hector, Adoy, Ream, Loftus-Cheek, Reed, Bryan and Abu Bakr Kamara. John Hartson alongside us here. John, they got beaten midweek, Newcastle, but prior to that, back-to-back wins. They win here, it's 3 wins in 4. We already know it's their best start to a Premier League campaign for 6 years. Despite that defeat, things are not looking too bad, are they, for Newcastle?
Not looking too bad at all. They've had, as you say, their best start to a Premier League in terms of a points total in the last 5.5 years. You know, Steve Bruce, he's old school, but he gets results. You know, he knows how to set up teams. His vast experience. And against a Fulham side that are desperate for wins. They've had a good week, Fulham, in terms of the draw last week against Liverpool and Brighton in midweek. They'd have ideally wanted to take a win from one of them 2, but I can see it being a long, hard season for Fulham.
You were a centre-forward of great note. Mitrovic, what's going through his mind here up against his former club, the club that, in effect, didn't want him anymore. They shipped him out to Fulham. He's got a big point to prove, hasn't he? Yes, he has, and I like him. You know, he seems to have curbed his aggression and, you know, his discipline anyway, you know, reds and yellow cards. When he first came to the country, I think he realised that, you know, he couldn't show that physicality, you know, over-physical, if you like. I had the same problem when I played. But he seems to have curbed that now, and I like him. I think he's great in the air. He's a goal threat, and no doubt he would love to score, you know, against one of his former clubs tonight. We'll find out if that can happen. The black and white stripes of Newcastle, the all yellow change strip of Fulham. They're attacking the Gallagate end in this first half here. Thank goodness they've turned the PA down. That was incredibly loud, louder than normal here, as the players on the field take a knee. No room for racism in football. And just as I said that, the tannoy comes back to life. Steve Bruce and Scott Parker down below us. They're on the edge of their technical area. It's all part of game day. Exclusive here on TalkSport. And here's Mitrovic. He's going to have a shot straight from the kick-off. Well, the ball was passed to him, 30 yards out, John Hartson. Yeah. He's had a sight, and to be fair to Darlow, he had to scramble across to save it. Well, he was strong initially. He brought it down on his chest, and he thought it just bounced up really nice for him, but didn't quite test the goalkeeper. Well, last time I was here against West Brom, Newcastle scored within 19 seconds. They were almost on the wrong end of one there, as Newcastle now finally have the ball, and they'll go back to Darlow, who will clear it. He's in a dark bluey-green strip. He's aiming at Wilson. Ball bounces away from him. It's a scruffy clearance, but the referee has awarded an early free kick here for Fulham, away to our left-hand side. What a game day it's been as well. Liverpool 5 points clear at the top of the Premier League after that 7-0 thrashing of Crystal Palace earlier on. And we've just heard Everton beating Arsenal by 2-1. It's a Merseyside 1-2 in the Premier League at the moment. Free kick then for Areola. He's all in purple today. He's just 20 yards short of the halfway line. He's not happy about something. I think he's saying Callum Wilson maybe not back 10 yards, but he clears it above him. He aims towards Mitrovic, and they jump above him, and they concede another free kick. Well, they were trying to be positive there, Newcastle, defensively, but that was a foul all day long, wasn't it? Well, that's what he'll do. I think Mitrovic will get you up the pitch. He'll back into the likes of Fernandez,
you know, and Kieran Clark and win free kicks for his team, and then that'll take Fulham up the pitch, take a bit of pressure off them. He's very good at that, Mitrovic, winning fouls.
Kenny's over there, Lookman is there as well. Tom Kenny, the captain tonight. 0-0 if you just switched on, just short of 2 minutes on the clock. Newcastle trying to hold a high line here on the edge of their 18-yard box. Will it be Kenny's left footer, or will Lookman just float one in? Well, Lookman dummy to go down the touchline, and then he'll come back and takes it right-footed into the area, and it's headed behind by Newcastle. Well, a little bit of deception on the corner there. There's a decent ball in as well, and it's behind for a corner. It
was a really good, well whipped in ball from Lookman, an in-swinger with his right foot. Fernandez judges the crossing very well, heads it out for a Fulham corner.
Yeah, they've lost the ball in the Gallagher end, so they're having to run up the sideline to go and get one. Kenny will go across to take it, and he's going to look to put this one into the box here. Steve Bruce looks on. Going to be a left-footed, away-swinging corner towards a penalty spot. It's flipped away. It'll fall edge of the area here. Chance for the shot from Lamina. It balloons off a defender. This could spin out right by the corner flag. It's another throw-in. Dekodiva Reid is across there to take it. And Newcastle at the moment just being penned back inside their own half here, and it's a bright start. Olaina will go and take the throw in. Everybody back for Newcastle within 25 yards of their own goal at the moment, as Fulham look to get off to a great start. Mitrovic down to Kearney. Can he get the shot away? He's right on the right-hand corner of the box. He'll lay it back to Aina, who will put the cross in. It's a scruffy one, but it's brought down by Dekodiva Reid. He looked for the give and go with Mitrovic, and now on the break they go forward, Newcastle. It's Joe Linden. He's got 4 yellow shirts around him. He goes forward, but he's just outweighed by the simple number and the pace of Robinson. Got back, and he clears it up to halfway, where Lookman does well to keep possession, and now Fulham can come forward again. Kearney has it in the centre circle. Dekodiva Reid comes to this near side, but Kearney will go back, and they have it at the back now. Darabeo has it, and they'll pass it along the back. Well, that was a decent little spell of pressure there for Fulham, and you saw that Dekodiva Reid with a little look for that give and go, John. It was dangerous, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. That's what he does. He just got a little bit mixed up with his fellow centre forward there. As he played it in, he sort of moved out of the way, and then Newcastle broke. Joe Linton just ran out of a little bit of pace, but Anthony Robinson got back and defended it well, the left back for Fulham.
Almiron gets the ball forward. Wilson will give chase, and he's running at the last man here. He cuts inside, but again the yellow shirts come flooding back. Longstaff will get it alive to Shelvey. Shelvey moves it out wide over on that right hand side. Chance to put the cross in. They lay it into the edge of the box, and they pull it back, and it's behind for a corner kick to Newcastle. That was a neat spell of football there, and again we see the danger that Wilson possesses. When he has the ball, defenders, they're worried about his pace.
Yeah, that's what frightens defenders, isn't it? Pace. You know, and Wilson, for me, he's an all-round centre forward, Mark. He can come short, he can go in behind, he's got pace, strength, and I'm surprised that, you know, he doesn't get the goals that he should get, really. He's so powerful and very good finisher.
Well, here's the corner from Shelvey. It's flicked off a Fulham head. It'll fall edge of the box here. Shot cannons off a defender. It was Dummett, and Dummett does really well to get it out to Almiron on the left-hand side. He will look to put the cross in. It's headed away, and now Fulham look to nick the ball away. It was Lookman who had too much pace there for Yedlin, and Kenny again just looks to play safe first, and Scott Parker down below as they look really frustrated because Fulham had a chance to be positive there. 5 on the clock here at St James's Park, live on TalkSport tonight. It's Newcastle 0, Fulham 0, but Fulham started reasonably well here. Drawn their last 2 games with Liverpool and Brighton, and a positive result tonight will go some way to helping them out of the bottom 3. Here's Mitrovic, looks to give it on that left-hand side to Robinson. It's headed away. Lookman will pick it up 20 yards out, drop of the shoulder, looks for the give and go with Kearney, and Kearney's pass bounces off a defender and back to him, and now Anguissa will move it wide on the left-hand side. Another cross coming in, another cross that's cleared away only as far as Lamina, and Kearney then in a 50-50 wins the ball, and Fulham have it back on their left-hand side. Anguissa comes in field. Lookman again, a drop of the shoulder, goes past 1, goes past 2. Is he going to shoot? No, he's going to lay it out wide for Dekodiva Reid on the right hand side. This is good from Fulham. Olaina is there. Can he put the cross in? He checks onto his left foot, goes to the far post. It's too deep and it bounces beyond Mitrovic and behind for a goal kick. I was a little bit surprised there. Ademola Lookman didn't have a shot from 20 yards.
Well, yeah, I think he tried to sort of look and get out of his feet for the shot, but obviously he decided to come wide to Decordova-Reid, and when Decordova-Reid laid that ball back to Ola Enna there, that's got to come straight in. He can't then switch that onto his left foot because it gives the defence an opportunity to come out. Ultimately, he overhits it anyway for the goal kick, but I think Ola Enna should just be whipping that straight in. It was a perfect ball back into his path.
Here is Darlow, clears his lines up and over the halfway line. Joe Linton beaten in the air, the ball down below us here. Kearney's in a sandwich there with Joe Linton, who came away with the ball. Longstaff gets it away over on the far side to Yedlin. First start of the season, he was a sub here against West Brom earlier. Here now is Joe Linton, just peeled off, found a bit of space, moves the ball out wide here for Almiron. Almiron 25 yards out from goal on the left touchline, goes to Shelby, who instantly looks up towards Ritchie on that far side. Ritchie on the corner of the area, plays it for Yedlin. Yedlin tries to get the cross and he'll win another corner. They're switching from side to side very effectively here, Newcastle.
Yeah, they are. Jonjo Shelby there just getting his first touches of the ball. We know that he's got great quality. You know, he can ping the ball all over the pitch. You give him time and space to pass it. Good play there though from Ritchie and Yedlin down that right hand side. Here's a corner. It's going to be an in-swinger from the far side here. Whipped in towards the 6-yard box. It's headed away at the near post. It'll fall for Almiron. He's going to lay it back to Shelby, who will hit it first time. It got blocked round about the penalty spot area and it's cleared away, and Lookman is quickly up to the halfway line as Fulham look to counter-attack here, but Newcastle get the black and white shirts around the ball and they'll win a free kick. 8 minutes gone here at St James's Park. Game day exclusive on TalkSport. It's Newcastle 0, Fulham 0. And Steve Bruce and Scott Parker almost in unison turn their back on the field and take a few paces back to the dugout and then come back and watch their teams in action. Shelby doesn't get too many goals these days with that shot blocked. He certainly only had one thing in his mind. Here now is Paul Dummett. Gets the ball back to Shelby as Newcastle look to build from halfway. They go forward, middle of the park. Fulham feel they've numbered up correctly. The ball will work wide to Ritchie. Again, Yedlin will go past him, but Ritchie's going to put a crossing on his right foot, headed towards Wilson, who gets the header away, and it's just palmed down by Areola underneath the crossbar. Yeah, it's a great cross in from Yedlin. Sorry, comes in from Ritchie, and he's almost had to crouch down for that ball. Very difficult to score from there, but a decent effort from Wilson.
He's still got it on target though, but Areola made it look pretty routine, as it should have done. Ball over on the Fulham left. They're over the halfway line again. Then they'll go back to try and come forward. Darabayo will get the ball. Here now is Anderson. Feeds it wide over on the far side. Fulham being patient in possession here. They don't have to chase the game. Plenty of time here as Aina has it, and again they've just gone from one side. They wanted to go back, but now the Newcastle press comes and Almiron got there and forces the ball forward. It's a good ball though, finds Tom Kearney, who instantly looks out wide, and Robinson, an ever-willing runner from left back, has the ball, knocks it to Mitrovic down the left-hand side of the area. Mitrovic with his back to goal is looking for support. He'll see Lookman inside him. He goes instead to Anguissa. Anguissa then looks up and he will come out to the right-hand side. Olarena has it midway inside the Newcastle half. Little step over, gets him away from Almiron. He's got pace as well, puts in the cross. Here's a chance for Kearney. Great first touch. The shot blooms up, and Darlow, all he can do is put fingertips on it and knock it over the crossbar for a corner.
That's great play down this right-hand side from Olarena. And he picks out Kearney there. I just think he's got to swing his right foot at that. I'm not sure. It's a decent first touch, but he's straight away. As soon as you take that touch, you're going to be under pressure. He's got to try and hit that first time for me there, Kearney. But brilliant play from Enna down this right-hand side. You can just see him goes away from Almiron, picks out Kearney there, and I love that when wingers pick out players in the box.
It was a great block actually from Shelby, didn't it? He came the blind side. Kearney probably thought he had a second longer than he had, and it ballooned off the defender, and Darlow, fearing it may just drop in under the crossbar, just tapped it behind, and Lookman on the right will take the corner towards the 6-yard box. Mitrovic was waiting. It breaks to Kearney. Lookman gets the ball back. He managed to stay onside. He's on the right hand side of the penalty area. He's looking to engineer an opening. Decon Overeem will put in a first time ball headed away at the near post. Robinson will keep the ball in though for Fulham, and they've got plenty forward here. Robinson tried to roll the ball towards Anguissa. He got it back and he'll get it to Anguissa this time, who steps over, goes down the left hand side, puts the ball in. The header is straight at the goalkeeper. It was Lookman inside 10 yards out. He heads it straight down and straight at Darlow. Still 0-0.
Oh, he's got up really well there, by the way, Lookman. It's a brilliant cross in from Anguissa. Again, he's unmarked. Lookman's totally unmarked. He's almost got free header straight at the goalkeeper.
12 gone. 0-0 here on TalkSport tonight. John Hartson, part of our commentary team this evening here on Game Day Exclusive. A busy old day. 4 exclusive commentaries across TalkSport and TalkSport 2. If you're heading out tonight, make sure you download the app, take us with you. More live football tomorrow on TalkSport 2. Brighton Sheffield United, what a game that is at the bottom end of the Premier League. As Dummett slides the ball forward, he's looking for Wilson. Ball bounced off him, and the referee has said it bounced off a Fulham defender's arm. So Newcastle have got a set piece here, about 30-35 yards out from goal. It's way left of centre, and Shelvey comes across to get hold of the ball. So it was handball there, and a free kick here, and Ritchie will come across from the far side to take it. He's another one that only just coming back really after an injury-ravaged year. Third start of the season for him. And Newcastle...
Yeah. Fernandez, Clark, they're looking for a decent ball. He's got the quality, Ritchie, on this left-hand side.
He has. Left-footed then, he's going to swing it in. Fulham holding a high line. No, he's not going to swing it in. He squares it to Shelvey. Shelvey then plays it towards the back post. It's headed back into the danger area. Joe Linton challenges for it. Ball's in the air. Areola gets a little punch on it, and then the acrobatic clearance from Lamina, and the offside flag had gone up anyway. So a little bit of invention from Newcastle there. The header across goal was a decent one.
It was. It was played short from Ritchie to Shelvey in the middle of the park. He clips it to the far post, and Fernandez attacks it really, really well, heads it back across the penalty spot, but unfortunately I think there was an offside or a foul in the Fulham penalty area.
Yeah, Areola will take the free kick 10 yards in front of his goal. He knocks it right-footed over towards the far side. Mitrovic was the target, didn't quite reach him. Garabao clears it away. Newcastle put it back inside the Fulham half, and Joe Linton does well, and Garabao for the third time in quick succession clears the ball away, but only out for a throw-in over on the far side. 14 gone here. It's been a bright start really from both sides. Fulham looking very confident here after a couple of positive results for them, as Shelvey now slides forward, gets the ball to Ritchie. He goes back to Longstaff, has the ball over on that far side, and Newcastle give it to Clark, who scored in midweek at Leeds. What happened after he got that equaliser? And now forward come Newcastle. Ritchie cutting in from that right hand side, but just out muscled in the end. There's a strong challenge coming in there, brilliant challenge as well. It was Longstaff, and here is Ritchie's going to hit one, but sliced it with his left foot, and it almost hits the corner flag on the near side, and it goes behind. Well, that was a good old 50-50 challenge.
It was fair. It was fair from Longstaff, and then Ritchie with the effort just can't hit the target.
Fulham, as is the way now, just passing the ball around inside their own penalty area. 0-0 if you've just joined us here. Fulham have it. They've had a couple of decent chances, Fulham. You have to say that Lookman header was the best one, as the ball headed back inside the Fulham half. Ritchie heads it forward. He's looking for Callum Wilson, who's over on the right touchline. He's outnumbered in the end, and here now is Anguissa. He's really starting to show the potential that Fulham thought they'd got when they paid £30 million for him a couple of seasons ago. It's taken a while, but he's now emerging on the Premier League stage for Fulham. Ball going forward now with Anderson. Garabao over on the far side, back to Anderson. They'll roll the ball around. Aina, the fullback, goes forward. Mitrovic the target, wins the flick on, but Darlow, if he's quick enough, he was a little bit hesitant there. He came off his line, spilled it in the end, and what looked really a routine save, he made that look a little bit awkward.
Yeah, I didn't quite I expected him to win the header, but then to actually get on to his own flick, that was asking a bit too much there, Mitrovic, to be honest.
Yeah. He did well. Here now is Joe Linton. Luton's first touch, but did really well to win it back. And now the ball over the top from Shelvey. Here's Wilson, brings it down edge of the area, looks for support, arrives with Ritchie, just couldn't get the ball out of his feet. He tried to find Yedlin and rather rushed his pass, but Yedlin will get the ball back, and he nips it over the shoulder of the fullback, puts the cross in, he's headed away, only as far as Joe Linton, dropping the shoulder, goes on his right foot, puts the cross in, cleared away on the 6-yard box by Fulham. And the ball hooked down the line, but Joe Linton will be offside. He'll have to let that one roll out. Almiron will try and keep it in. He sprinted across, but couldn't get the ball back in the field. It's still 0-0 here. You're listening to Newcastle versus Fulham on Talk Sport with Now TV. Don't forget, you can watch Newcastle versus Fulham live right now with a Now TV Sky Sports Pass for just $9.99. Search Now TV for more details. 0-0 here, 17 gone. No goals yet, John, but a bright start.
Really bright start, actually, from both. If anything, I think Fulham was probably at the lion's share of the opportunities, in the opposition's penalty area. But key for me today, Mark, is Jonjo Shelvey. He's almost got a free role in that middle of the park. Fulham players are not picking him up, and Newcastle need to get him on the ball, because he just showed with that fabulous pass with his outside of his right foot. He can pick players out for fun, Jonjo Shelvey. Technically brilliant.
Well, there he is on the ball again. We use it a lot, almost that quarterback role, just giving and getting the ball back and looking to work his team down the field. And they've got up to the centre circle. They come to this near side, and the ball now is with Longstaff. He now gets it away on this near side. Here's Almiron, scored here recently against West Bromwich Albion. Works the ball to Wilson. Joe Linton this time gets it to Almiron. Oh, that's not the best pass. Kenny just couldn't get on the end of it. Clark moves it across the back line to Fernandez, and they'll go back to Darlow, who will quickly get the ball back again. Fulham are pressing high up the field here. They're trying to force the error. They go back to Darlow, and all he can do is side foot it forward, but Almiron's touch is impeccable, and he brings it down on the halfway line. Joe Linton, look at the run over on the far side from Ritchie. They just couldn't find him, and Lamina brings it down, and Fulham have the ball back. They go forward. The intent is there from both sides at the moment. We still await that first goal. It's been an action-packed day of goals. Crystal Palace 0, Liverpool 7, you heard earlier on Talk Sport. Southampton 0, Manchester City 1. Raheem Sterling with a goal there. And Everton 2, Arsenal 1. The pressure builds on Mikel Arteta and Arsenal as they fall to defeat Everton, second in the table. And the ball over on the far side with Fulham, who again just happy to build from the back. 19 gone at St James's Park, and it is 0-0. Anguissa has it, lays it forward, then the ball goes back from Kearney to Anderson. Anderson gets it away over on the far side. Here now is Robinson, always keen to get forward. He's right on that left touch line. Steve Bruce barking out the instructions. He's just been told to move back a yard into his technical area. Here now is Lookman, back to goal, moves it wide on the left-hand side. Robinson slides the ball to Decordova-Reid. Tried a little step over, lost control but gained it straight back. The pass to Lookman, though, from Robinson was a poor one, and Lamina, good shoulder challenge there, but he's lost the ball, and it's 3-on-2 momentarily, and Wilson now streaks away on the far side. Joe Linton inside him, he goes past one, he's edge of the box, he tried to feed it into Joe Linton, and the ball cleared away. I think he was possibly caught in two minds there, Callum Wilson.
He showed great strength, didn't he? That body charge, if you like, against Lamina, who's not weak, by the way. He just fluffs his lines, didn't he, with that pass into Joe Linton. Just couldn't quite get the pass right.
It is 0-0 as the ball goes back inside the Fulham half here. 20 minutes gone on Talk Sport. Game day exclusive. And tomorrow on Talk Sport 2. Make sure you've got that app downloaded. Brighton against Sheffield United. Lunchtime there, 12 o'clock start. Mark Saggers and the team as Newcastle feed the ball back to Darlow, who's going to hit it first time right in front of his own goal there. It was bobbling a bit as well. Knocks it long for Joe Linton. Aina clears it away, and here's Anguissa. Good touch, just nicked the ball away from two Newcastle defenders and finds Decordova-Reid, who was a late inclusion here, remember. Ivan Cavallero was named in the starting 11, but injured, got a muscle injury in the warm-up. And Decordova-Reid, who was initially on the bench, came into the starting lineup, and he's been bright in this opening 20 minutes or so here on Tyneside. Ball across this near side. Ola Aina is encouraged forward. Anguissa's just telling him to keep coming, and in the end he stopped and went backwards, and against Scott Parker, just encouraging his team if they can to be a little bit more positive. They move it to Robinson on the far side, he feeds it forward, but Lookman can't get on the end of it, and Newcastle should clear their lines with Shelvey. He finds Ritchie, who's on the half turn, neat little pirouette, but then stumbled on the ball and it's out for a throw in.
I've been very impressed, I have to say, with Fulham in this opening 20 minutes. They all want the ball, they can all play. Tom Kearney is pushed up against Paul Dummett. You know, he's going to be a threat. Kearney out wide, he keeps pulling Dummett wide, and I like the way they pass the ball and they move Newcastle from side to side. You know, Decordova-Reid looks really quality. Lookman, and I'm surprised that they've only won 2 games this season, Fulham, with the talent they have in the group.
Well, they almost got themselves into trouble. They may well have done. The ball's headed away straight to Shelvey on the break. He comes forward. He gets it to Almiron. There are 3 black and white shirts in the box. Almiron on the left-hand side of the penalty area. Just steps on the ball, rolls it back. He was looking for Dummett. In the end, he passed it to himself. Almiron keeps the move alive. Gets it to Longstaff. Little lob pass over on the far side. Yedlin will keep it in. Level with the edge of the area on the right hand side, puts in a great ball and it's headed over the top. Joe Linton couldn't keep the header down, but once again we see the sides moving it from side to side, waiting for the opening to come. It was a decent ball in. Joe Linton though couldn't get over the top of his header. Yeah,
but they're putting the ball in the box. Newcastle, Fulham are doing the same, you know, keep putting them balls into the box for your strikers, and I think Ola Enaik, as you can see, just does enough here just to put Joe Linton off, just that little there, and then Joe Linton just couldn't quite direct the header.
Here's Shelvey again, gets the ball forward, it'll bounce off a Fulham defender and Greaser picks it up and he goes forward past Shelvey. Decordova-Reid looks for the crossfield switch to Robinson, who just has to check inside, and his touch will mean he has to go back to Adarabayo, and he gets it away here to Anderson, the man on loan at Fulham. Just his 8th start for the club tonight. And Scott Parker again, I think he wants his side when they can to be a little bit more positive with the ball. Ball out on this near side. Aina knocks it over the top. Mitrovic and Decordova-Reid will chase the same ball. Well, Decordova-Reid has got it and he gets it to Kearney. They need Mitrovic in the box on the right hand side. Kearney on his left foot rolls it to Anguissa. Anguissa now gets it away to Lookman. Lookman just trying to buy a challenge here. He's hoping to commit the defender, who, to be fair, stands off him. Ball to Mitrovic, back to goal, 20 yards out. Floats a pass out to Decordova-Reid. There was just a bit too much on it. Decordova-Reid will keep it in down by the corner flag on the right. He pulls the ball back to Anguissa. Patient stuff from Fulham. Here now is Lookman. Lookman tries to slide it into Kearney. Kearney back to Lookman, who will have to go back to the halfway line, and Adarabayo keeps it alive. Here now goes Lookman again. It's almost like a training exercise. It's Fulham just pulling Newcastle from one side to the other, just keeping possession of the ball here. It's 0-0, 24 on the clock, but it's been a bright start from the men from Craven Cottage. They come back over the halfway line. Lookman again looks forward. Mitrovic just gives him the ball back casually. They're waiting for Newcastle to maybe overcommit or jump into a challenge that may lead to a gap or a chance. Ball back to Anguissa, and it's keep ball for Fulham here. This is a pretty amazing number of passes that they've got in, but they've not yet opened up the defence, and the ball forward from Aina is chested down by Clark. He will go forward, and it's 2-on-2 at the back, and Wilson tried to flick the ball to Joe Linton, and it's eased back. Adarabayo back to his goalkeeper Areola. And just a couple of times, John, for all the possession they had there, Fulham, one ball towards Wilson or Joe Linton and they look as though they're going to be broken.
Yeah, Fulham are just committing a lot of players forward when they have the ball. It's very important. Adebayo and Anderson, you know, they don't get caught out on the counter against Linton and Wilson.
Well, here is Anguissa, gets the ball edge of the area, goes past one, he's gone down. Decordova-Reid in on goal, and now the referee has pulled it back for a foul on the edge of the penalty area. Well, Decordova-Reid was in on goal, and Darlow there made a really good save. I'm not too sure about that. I've seen the replay. I'm not too sure that's a foul, John Hartson, is he? He's passed the ball and then fallen over after the event.
Well, what I would say is good refereeing, because he's let Decordova-Reid go in terms of he didn't give the foul initially against Anguissa. He's almost ran into him and tried to run into the box.
Well, the free kick has been given. It's probably a couple of inches outside the penalty area.
It's not a penalty, even if it was in. It's a difficult one because it looks as if he's tried to get the free kick as Anguissa.
Well, Lookman is there, Mitrovic is there, Kearney the left-footed option. The free kick is on the left-hand corner of the D, right outside the penalty area. Darlow is back on his line. He's lining up his wall here. Now, who's going to take it? Lookman, Mitrovic, Kearney, the three protagonists here. It's Newcastle 0, Fulham 0, but this is a huge chance with 26 on the clock on TalkSport for Fulham to hit the front. Mitrovic has just gone back as though he's going to smash one here. Or will it be the finesse of Lookman or Kearney? We await the whistle here from the referee, Graham Scott. Steve Bruce looks on anxiously, his hands in his long coat pocket. Lookman looks like he's going to take it. He comes forward and he fires it into the wall and it goes over the top for a corner. There's plenty of zip on the shot, but the wall does its job.
Yeah, that's how Fulham should have defended the free kick against Liverpool last week. If they had, they might have come away with 3 points. Take one in the face, be brave. You know when you put your arms up, the repercussions of that. It's going to be a penalty.
Yeah, well, here's a
good defended from Newcastle.
Yeah, it was. Here's a corner for Kearney. They've still got a little bit more to do here. There's a bit of jostling in the penalty area. In comes the cross. It's headed towards goal by Adebayo, and he's just put it wide of the far post. Adebayo with the header there. Probably a little bit more time than he thought, but he couldn't direct it. And Darlow again's had to go over the boards and collect the ball from the Gallagate end. It's still 0-0 here. It's been a really entertaining start to the game tonight.
Yes, it has. I think both teams, more so Fulham, I think, have looked the more dangerous. Not quite sure whether that was a free kick by Anguissa there, but they got it, and Newcastle stood up really well and defended the free kick, which is in a dangerous position.
Fulham look to go forward quickly there. The ball is cleared back inside the Fulham half. Adebayo has it, and he now gives it to Robinson, who's so keen to go forward here. The former Everton youngster went to Wigan, was linked to a move, wasn't he, to Serie A, of course, and it fell through at the last minute, but he's here in the Premier League now with Fulham and looks every bit a Premier League player as well. The ball on the halfway line with Fulham, and again it's patient build-up. Played into the feet of Mitrovic. They don't go to him, they let Mitrovic have it and lay it off Newcastle there, and the Fulham move will continue wide on this near side. Still awaiting the first goal on Tyneside, and they'll go back to Anderson, and again they build patiently. Scott Parker's side drawn their last two games, trying to get a win here. Ball flicked over the top. Lookman has shrugged off a defender, gets to the byline. He's gone down here, and they're screaming at the referee, who points towards the corner flag. Now will VAR have a check at this? The Fulham players are going across. He got the wrong side of the defender. He got into the area. It looked like there was a collision there, but the referee awards a corner kick. Well, John Hartson, they got a decision a couple of moments ago on the edge of the box.
This is a better angle. Oh, I'm not sure. If anything, it's outside the box.
Well, it's a corner.
No, it's not a penalty. I think Lookman has actually caught sort of Yedlin. I think there's contact, but more so from Lookman.
Okay.
So I don't see it as a penalty. If anything, it was on the edge of the box.
Okay, well, it's a corner over on that far side in front of the Gallagate end here. Again, the yellow shirts are moving around, trying to buy a bit of space as the ball comes in, headed away near post. It's headed back into the mix, and Darlow will collect it. It's currently...
So, Mark, in a nutshell, no penalty for me.
Okay, it's currently Newcastle 0, Fulham 0. For the latest odds, head to Betfair, the official betting partner of TalkSport's Premier League coverage, where right now you can get Newcastle at 12-5, Fulham at 6-4. The draw is 11-5. That's all thanks to Betfair. More ways to bet, more ways to win. 18 plus, begambleaware.org. 0-0 here. St James's Park. We drove through quite a lot of rain to get here, but it's a dry night, a chilly night here in the northeast. As Fulham come forward again. I think if you were watching this game and you weren't aware who was the home side and who was not, you'd probably suggest that Fulham were the home team. They're dominating possession. Newcastle trying to play on the break as Areola gets the ball and he pops the pass to Decordeva-Reid, who's beaten in the air by Dummett. His first start for almost a year.
Yeah, excuse me. Fulham have been very nice, good on the eye, haven't they? They pass the ball around really nicely. All the players are making angles. Everybody wants to get on the ball. There's nobody hiding away here at Newcastle. And of course they've got a threat up top with Lookman and Kenny, with Mitrovic down the middle. They've actually been the more impressive team up in this first half an hour gone.
They have. Newcastle have though looked dangerous on the break, but haven't yet managed to break the deadlock. Here's Robinson again on the left hand side for Fulham. Lookman rolls it back to Lemina. He steps away from a challenge. He's fully 30 yards out. Puts the cross in for Decordeva-Reid, who's stolen it at the far post and is side-footed wide on the volley from 7 yards out. That's a great chance for Fulham, and Decordeva-Reid, their top scorer, has put it the wrong side of goal.
It's an incredible ball. What a pass from Lemina that is. And Decordeva-Reid, he's got to score, Mark. He's got to score. He's put it on a plate for him. Kept himself onside. Side foot, hit the target. He's just took his eye off it. Just took his eye off the ball. What a chance to put Fulham 1-0 up.
Oh, Darlow came diving out, maybe just caught the attacker's eye. And it remains 0-0 here. All part of Game Day Live exclusive. Mark Wilson and John Hartson here as Wilson stepped over a would-be challenge from Lemina, who apologises. And just again showing that strength, Callum Wilson. Eventually lost his footing, but he genuinely tried to keep the ball there and stay on his feet, and it's a free kick again. They've had one in a similar position here where Ritchie squared the ball to Shelvey. I just wonder if this time they may be a little bit more direct and put the ball into the area. 0-0, approaching 33 on the clock here. And now Steve Bruce looks on a little bit more excitedly as his side are attacking away to the left. Areola starts on his 6-yard line. A cross comes in towards the edge of the area where it's headed away. It'll go back into the box. It's headed down, and Ola Aina got the ball stuck under his feet there, and he did really well to get it away from Almiron. Mitrovic with a beautiful chest pass, but Kearney was caught in possession, but the referee deemed he was fouled, and Fulham survived that little test there from Newcastle quite comfortably. Robinson away on the left again. He's almost playing like a left winger at the moment, isn't he? Certainly a great outlet for Fulham on that far side. And the ball now with Anderson inside his own half. 0-0 here. Fulham have lost all 8 games. They've conceded the first goal, so I'm sure that played a part in their team talk to be positive and try and get that first goal as they did against Liverpool.
Well, the first goal always helps, doesn't it? It gives you something. Then the players get a lift from scoring that first goal. You get a bit more belief. It knocks the opposition, backwards a little bit. They've got to come out and take a risk to get back in the game. So that first goal is always vital when the game is so tight.
Well, Arena did really well to control Darlow's ball forward. Fulham have it back on the halfway line. Here again is Joachim Anderson. Gives it to Lemina. Under pressure, did well. And Fulham again just playing keep ball. They're trying to draw Newcastle out here, and Newcastle at the moment seem quite happy just to sit back and let Fulham have the ball. They've had a real hit and miss record, haven't they, at home, Newcastle? They lost one. And on that basis you'd say they're due to lose today as Mitrovic goes down theatrically, but he was caught, says Graham Scott. And it's a free kick here, and he is just holding his chest a little bit here, Mitrovic. He felt he was clearly caught, and the referee agreed with him. The referee just checks he's okay. He's getting up onto his knees there, Mitrovic, and it will be a free kick to Fulham. So the big guns coming forward again for the men in yellow from Craven Cottage.
Oh yeah.
Was it Ritchie that caught him?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he's come right in the back of him. He's just almost. But he's really big. He's physical, Mitrovic. He can take them all day.
Well, he wins his side a free kick, and now he'll be trying to get on the end of it. He's loitering here, right outside the area at the far post, but they're going to slide it down the edge of the box for Lookman. As they're coming together in the box, there's a Fulham player gone down. Cross comes in towards Adarabayo, and the ball comes down to Mitrovic. It's not cleared yet, and Kearney with a left-footed shot sliced it wide. Well, we know he can hit them, Tom Kearney, from that kind of range, but he never looked confident over that one. And it's behind, way wide, and it remains Newcastle 0, Fulham 0.
Yeah, it sets up really nice for Tom Kearney on the edge of the box. again, we've seen Kenny hit some wonderful goals in his time in the Premier League. A good chance for him there.
Yeah, we saw him have a chance earlier on. There was a collision on the edge of the area.
I just think it's more of a coming together, Mark. I'm not too sure if there's anything particularly in that.
No.
If anything, it's clever from Lamina. He's almost blocked Fernandez off.
Yeah. Just had eyes on the ball, didn't he, the Newcastle player? And the ball's cleared away. Headed forward by Joe Linton. Yedlin trying to get on the end of it. Robinson will get there. Robinson will go past Yedlin up towards halfway again. Raise it back to Lookman. Fulham inside their own half. Ball works its way up towards the halfway line again. Fulham give it to Lookman, but they lose control, and Ritchie has it, gives it to Shelvey, who goes back towards his own goal and Fernandez. And here now is Yedlin on the far side. He goes long down the right touchline, trying to get Miguel Almiron into the play, but it's picked up by Fulham. They'll go back to Areola, who has a touch. Oh, almost went behind him momentarily. From the angle where it looked like it was going towards the goal briefly, but Areola did well, and now it's a free kick for Fulham after Deco Overeed was bundled over. You are listening to Newcastle versus Fulham on TalkSport with WeBuyAnyCar.com. Get a quote in 60 seconds at WeBuyAnyCar.com. 0-0 here, 8 to go to the break. We've had 16 goals in our 4 live commentaries across TalkSport and TalkSport 2 today. I'm hoping we're not going to be the jinx, John Hartson. It's 0-0.
We could do with a goal, couldn't we? Although there's been some really nice play from both teams, in particular Fulham.
Yeah.
But just haven't got the breakthrough yet.
Well, here's Joe Linton, did really well. And then he finds a pass here for Ritchie, edge of the area. He's in the D. Can he get the shot away? He just wanted too long on the ball, but he's won it back. He slides it here to Almiron. Left-footed shot, and Areola down low to his left, saves it nicely. Well, that was a chance for Newcastle. Ritchie, the initial effort, he couldn't get it away, but he found Almiron, who from a tight angle hit it goal-bound, but Areola more than a match for the shot.
Yeah, Almiron just gets himself a little bit of space, takes it on that favoured left foot, hits it across the goal, and Areola actually does really well. He holds it nice and safe. But a good save from Areola.
Yeah, he got down quickly, didn't he? It was
yeah.
quite close to him, but he got down and got his hands on it.
Solid.
Yeah, good goalkeeping from the man on loan from PSG, of course. Ball comes out on its near side. Here's Ola Aina, encouraged to go forward. Feeds the ball inside to Ken. He's closed down by John Joe Shelvey.
68% Fulham possession. The away team.
Yeah, they've had a lot of it, haven't they?
They've fizzed it around nicely.
Here's Ola Aina, but he's lost it there. Joe Linton working back well again. Ball played forward. Here's Miguel Almiron now, looking to get past Lamina, who just shoulder charges him off the ball. Steve Bruce thrusts his arms in the air. As a defender, he'd have been delighted with that challenge, wouldn't he?
Of course he would have. It's brilliant from Lamina. Strong, aggressive, and fair also. Yeah. All right, he's twice the size of Almiron, but I just thought it was a really good challenge.
Yeah, well,
proper midfielder's challenge. Got back. Good.
Yeah, well, it's not boxing. There are no weight categories on the football field. As the ball played out, Aina heads it forward. Tried to find Decodiva Road at Reed. Dummett was there. Looked like a foul by Kearney. It's a free kick for Newcastle deep inside their own half. And we go into the final 5.5 minutes of a first half that's promised quite a lot, but goal-wise hasn't yet delivered. Lookman with a header from 7-8 yards out, really should have done better. Decordova-Reid, who side-footed wide from a similar distance out. We've had that free kick cannoned off the wall for Fulham as well. A couple of shots from Kearney, and at the other end, Almiron with that effort that did test out the goalkeeper. Ball forward. Dummett was, in fact, it was Clark Brave in the air. Ball knocked forward, looking for Callum Wilson. And it's eased away from him by Anderson and back to Areola.
I think the one maybe complaint Steve Bruce will have of his team at half-time is, be scratching his head as to why they've not created one or two more chances, with Joe Linton and Callum Wilson, Ritchie, Almiron. It's Fulham that have had the better of the opportunities, isn't it?
Yeah, well, the ball here.
They've got Dwight Gay and Andy Carroll. They've got, plenty of good players there in reserve. Well,
here's Anguissa, picks up the ball just on the edge of the centre circle. He drives forward. His initial pass was deflected, but Lookman picks it up wide on the left, gives it back to Anguissa, 30 yards out, goes back to Anderson. Well, Newcastle have only had 39 shots on target all season so far. They've scored with 16 of those. So maybe no surprise they haven't had too many shots at goal. It is something I'm sure they're looking to improve upon. With the ball here with Kearney. 0-0 if you just joined us here. Fulham dominating possession and have certainly dominated the efforts on goal so far.
Fulham are passing Newcastle off the field here, Mark.
Well, they've just won another corner. Lookman and Robinson. Just a word for Robinson. He was playing in the Championship with Wigan last season. He just looks every bit a Premier League attacking wing-back, doesn't he?
He's come in today. He's looked to get forward. He's all right. Yedlin's got in down that right-hand side once or twice, but no, he looks very assured, doesn't he? At this level.
He does. Corner, Lookman goes across to take, so it's going to be an in-swinger here in front of the Gallowgate end. We've got 3.5 minutes left in the first half. Corner delivered to the far post. He's headed down and it's in! It's gone in off a Newcastle player on the line. Adarabayo with a header, but it's hit a Newcastle player and gone in the back of the net, and Fulham deservedly have the lead here at St James's Park. It's Newcastle 0, Fulham 1.
Yeah, and it's come off Matt Ritchie. Adrabayo, but it's been coming, Mark. You can't deny it's been coming. They've looked a threat from set pieces of Fulham. They've had 68% possession in this first half. Good ball in. Adrabayo gets up above everybody else. Hits it on target, and it hits Matt Ritchie's face. Cannot do an awful lot about this, Matt Ritchie. Adrabayo, good header, and it just hits his chest and goes in the back of his own goal.
Well, he got free, didn't he, on a previous corner? He got his header, headed it just wide. This time he headed it towards goal, and the Newcastle defender just couldn't keep it out of the back of the net. It's hit him in the face, hasn't it?
I think it's bounced, It's took hell of a bounce. I think Matt Ritchie's expected it to just bounce. It did off his chest, and then he could clear it away, but it's bounced and almost hit him straight up into his face.
Yeah, it has, and it's gone in off his face.
The bounce caught him out.
It did. Now Newcastle they've got 2 minutes left of the 45 here.
It's no more than what Fulham have deserved, though, Mark.
Well, it's going to change the way Newcastle play now, surely, because they can't just let Fulham hold on to possession here at St James's Park. Newcastle 0, Fulham 1, live on TalkSport, all part of Game Day exclusive here. And tomorrow on TalkSport 2, Brighton against Sheffield United. Big game at the bottom of the table. Shelvey's given the ball away, hit it straight at Lookman, and Lookman then gives it straight to Longstaff, and Newcastle now will look to counter. Ritchie gets the ball out wide to Yedlin. Yedlin gives it back to Ritchie, back to Yedlin, back to Ritchie again. Now they've given it away, and Kearney and Mitrovic, if they want to drive forward, could have done, but I think Kearney, realising they probably didn't have the pace there, just opts to keep hold of the football. And Fulham, I think, would be happy now just to pass away this next couple of minutes, what's left in the first half, and get in the dressing rooms in front here at St James's Park. Ball over on the Fulham left-hand side. The goal coming from a set piece, but the truth is Fulham have been the better footballing side here. And as John Hartson just said, they deservedly are in front here in the northeast. Ball played forward, aimed at Mitrovic. It's cleared away by Fernandez. Ritchie will keep the ball in, but he's given it away to Robinson, and now they're thinking about breaking. Decon Overeem makes a great run down the middle, but Kearney was looking out wide. He gets it to Ole Aina. Aina now going level with the edge of the box, right hand side, chips it to Kearney. Can he keep it in? No, it just skips away from him and behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, they've just tried to be the more inventive out of the two teams. You look at Ole Aina down the right side, Robinson's got forward, and they've tried to get it into Mitrovic. They forced a load of corners, free kicks. They've had good opportunities in the game. Lookman had a really decent header which was straight into Carl Darlow's hands. But no, as I said, came in the 40th something minute. Fulham were they were looming at the time when they'd deservedly taken the lead here at St James's Park.
Well, we've got 1 added on minute at the end of the first half. We're into that now here on TalkSport, and it's Fulham again now looking to go forward as Robinson now drives down that left-hand side. Lookman and Decon Overeem in the box. In comes the cross, headed away on the 6-yard box by Newcastle. Lamina will pick up the pieces, and Guisa Dumidazoru is going to go back to the halfway line. He looks such an accomplished player at the moment, Anguissa. And he gets the ball back over on the left, and again a drop of the shoulder, goes past Shelvey, tried to feed the ball towards Lookman, it goes out, and the referee Graham Scott will just have a look at his watch. We're in the 1 added on minute at the end of the first half here, and Steve Bruce looks around at his backroom staff, and A little bit of a frustrated look on his face here as Shelvey tries to clear his lines, only as far as the halfway line, and still time here for Fulham if they can get it forward quickly. They need to move it quickly. Referee's got his whistle in his mouth, and that will be half-time here at St James's Park. And you have to say Fulham have been by far the better footballing side. They created some great chances in that first half. Lookman across from the left-hand side found him 8 yards out. He headed it straight at Darlow, and then a wonderful ball over the top from Lamina found Decordova-Reid, who could only side foot wide. Lookman's free kick deflected over the top. At the other end, Almiron tested out Areola with a good shot, but a goal coming just before the break, and it came from a set piece corner from the Fulham left-hand side. Adara Bayo headed it down towards goal, and Matt Ritchie, the unlucky player, turned it into his own net. Newcastle with work to do here at St James's Park at the break. So far so good for Fulham. It's Newcastle 0, Fulham 1. Thank you. Fulham in front at the break then here. Newcastle out for the second half. They'll be hoping that they can turn this one around. They were dominating in terms of possession and really in terms of chances in that first half. And Steve Bruce, well, his side, John Hartson, they need to be a little bit more on the front foot, don't they, second half?
Yeah, I think they do. I think it's mainly the midfield. I think you look at Lamina and Anguissa and Tom Kearney kept dropping in. I thought they controlled that first half in terms of the midfield. Jonjo Shelvey was very deep. Sean Longstaff, yeah, he made tackles and he tried to keep the ball, but as you say, Fulham they played very well. Their passing was crisp, and Newcastle couldn't get near them. Hence 70% possession from the away team. They passed the ball brilliantly in that first half, but Newcastle have to come out now and respond and get some possession themselves.
They do indeed, and we are going to get a change here, and it is a change that sees Isaac Hayden coming on for Federico Fernandez. So Hayden, well, he may well just drop into that back four again here, as he did against West Brom last time they were at St James's Park, and that's exactly where he's going. So that looks to be a forced change rather than a premeditated attacking one.
Yeah, I think so. I didn't think Fernandez did anything particularly wrong. He might be, Steve Bruce said that a few of the players, look very tired and everything else, and maybe he's struggling. Maybe he may be one of the players that has been struggling with the COVID and just look down on his energy levels maybe. Yeah,
it certainly could be the case. So Fernandez off, Hayden on, as the ball played over the top by Shelvey. He's looking to get Wilson on the end of it. It's hooked away by Adara Bayo, and it's picked up by Shelvey again as Newcastle drive forward. That looks to be a nice ball in, headed away. Will it fall here for Almiron? He went for the shot and he got clattered as he kicked it, and the referee had a long look at that and awards a free kick and a yellow card against Anderson, who felt he went for the ball. Almiron, to be fair, he was fully committed to that. The man from Paraguay, he got the shot on it, but the pace of it taken off, and he got clattered after he got the shot away.
I think Anderson has to make the tackle. I know Almiron's tried to strike it from the edge of the box. Just say that Anderson wins the initial first header, and yeah, maybe it is a foul, definitely a foul, because his studs are showing. Almiron there and his studs, and he's actually kicked the bottom of his foot, and Almiron's kicked Anderson's foot. But a foul for me, yes, in a dangerous position here for Newcastle.
This is a very dangerous position. It is right in the D. The Fulham players surrounding the referee at the moment. They lead by a goal to 0 here, but we've had 90 seconds of the second half, and Newcastle have got a huge chance here. Jonjo Shelvey and Matt Ritchie stood over the ball here, and again credit to the referee, let the play go on before pulling it back for the foul.
What started the second half, this possibly could be for Newcastle.
Well, there's a line of 10 yellow shirts in front of the... Well, 9 yellow shirts in front of the goal, and Robinson is laid down behind the wall here. So if the wall jumps, the ball technically should hit him.
It's good. It's actually very good.
Will it be Shelvey right foot?
Improvisation from Fulham.
Here comes Jonjo Shelvey over the wall and over the top. Soft. Wouldn't have had the pace, would it, to beat Areola?
He's better than that anyway. He'll be disappointed with that effort, Jonjo Shelvey. I've seen him a lot at Liverpool, at Swansea. He's got real quality, but It's just a little bit wasteful over the bar.
It was.
Not easy though, not easy to get that ball up and over the wall, as quickly as sometimes when you see goals happening there, but I think Shelby's more than capable of hitting a better one than that.
Areola will take the goal kick. Newcastle with Darlow in goal. They've now got a back four of Yedlin, Hayden, Clark and Dummett. Almiron, Shelby, Longstaff and Ritchie, with Joe Linton and Callum Wilson up top. They are chasing a goal here. They trailed to that Matt Ritchie on goal just before the break, as Anderson will hammer the ball clear. Kearney's first touch was a good one, but the ball nicked away from him and out for a throw-in. Fulham go with Areola in goal. Robinson, Adarabayo, Anderson and Aina the back four. Kearney, Lamina and Anguissa in the middle. Lookman and Decordova-Reid in support of Alexander Mitrovic, who would love to score here. There's no doubt about that. 10 without a goal for him. His worst spell in a Fulham shirt. Here's Lamina. Neat touch takes him away from Joe Linton. Finds Lookman. Lookman attracts 4 defenders to him and still finds a pass. Gets the ball back. Goes in past Joe Linton. The referee was going to blow for a free kick. The ball breaks to Decordova-Reid. Again, it's a good advantage from the official. Here's Robinson on the left. Fires in the ball. Headed away. Shelby on the edge of the area. Needs to clear it and does. And Almiron heads it forward. But Anderson will return it back to Robinson on this near side. Robinson heads forward. He's always looking to go forward. He draws the challenge from Yedlin and wins a throwing down by the corner flag. We've had 4 minutes of the second half here on Game Day exclusive on TalkSport. It's Newcastle 0, Fulham 1. Throwing then for Fulham, way to our left-hand side, and Robinson is just drying the ball. It is a dry evening, a chilly evening here in the northeast. The throw-in is a long one towards Mitrovic. It's over his head. It'll fall on the volley, and it's left foot volley from Kearney. Bounced, and Darlow low to his left. It may just have been scraping in at the far post, makes the save. Yeah, I think Kearney has good technique. The ball's come over his shoulder. He's hit it nicely, but not hit with enough power. I'm not sure if it was going on target either, Mark. Well, here's Ritchie, comes forward on the halfway line. Lamina again just puts a foot in and knocks Ritchie over, but wins the ball cleanly. Shelby gets the rebound and goes back here to Hayden, who goes along the back four to Clark. Newcastle 0, Fulham 1 here. Fulham looking to make it 3 unbeaten here and in a great position thanks to that own goal from Ritchie, but they were the better team in the first half, no doubting about that. As the ball comes back across to this near side, and Newcastle starting to get a bit more of the ball. Yedlin up to the halfway line. He's closed down by Lookman. And again, they'll go across the back. They're just passing it around. Now it's Fulham who are happy to let Newcastle have the ball. It'll be interesting to see the Fulham tactics now they have got a goal, because they're very good on the break as well, Fulham. With a pace of Decordova-Reid and Lookman to rely upon. With the ball over the top the other way. Yedlin is after it. Robinson heads it away. Yedlin picks it up 30 yards out from goal. Feeds it to Joe Linton. He goes back to Longstaff. He gets the ball away to John Joe Shelby. Shelby, if he looks to his left, had Dummett with him. Instead, he comes back to the right-hand side. Ritchie beaten in the air by a determined Robinson. And it's out for a throw-in midway inside the Fulham half. Just see the way Newcastle have started the second half. They look a lot brighter. There's more players. There's a bit more movement for the whoever's on the ball in terms of options to pass into. Just raise the tempo. That there's a lot more urgency from Newcastle. Well, Lookman has just picked the ball up off Longstaff and he drives forward and he's played in Mitrovic down the left hand side. Oh, it's a heavy touch, tries to pull it back and it's behind for a corner. Lookman and Decordova-Reid were waiting. I, for one, John Hartson, was wondering if Mitrovic was going to put his left foot through that and smash it goal bound, but he looked for a teammate. Yeah, the angle was there for him to shoot. He's in two minds, really. I just think you need to do one or the other. Either get it across early or make your mind up that you're going to have a shot. He does neither, other than win his team a corner. And we just mentioned, the ability of Fulham to break. Lookman just picked the ball up off Longstaff and he's run 40 yards downfield with it. Corner for Fulham. Well, they scored from a corner. You said, on the break, they're a very dangerous team. Here's Kearney, left-footed to deliver it. Everybody back for Newcastle. Ball floated in towards the 6-yard box. A header loops up in the air. It's headed away by Newcastle. Anderson heads it back in. There's a bit of head tennis going on here. Anderson heads it back into the box. It'll fall for Anguissa. 25 yards out, he shoots. It comes off Hayden, goes towards the halfway line. Ola Aina has a touch, then tries to fire it out wide. Ritchie will head it away, and Wilson will try and bring it down, but Robinson is there and hooks the ball forward. Yedlin again will head it forward. Newcastle at the moment just can't get the ball down to pass it. Olarena has a touch and he rolls it all the way back to Areola, who right-footed will hammer it downfield. Yedlin gives chase, but he's got a bit of time here. Lookman just hesitated. Ritchie hooks the ball forward and it's going to be allowed to roll out. Steve Bruce collects the ball and we've had almost 8 minutes of the second half here. Newcastle 0, Fulham 1. What did you make from those comments from Mikel Arteta at half-time where he said his side, they're playing well and they're not getting battered? This is Arsenal Football Club he's talking about.
Well, if they're playing well without scoring goals, aren't they? And ultimately goals win you games. They're creating opportunities. They've spent all that money on Willian and Aubameyang. That's probably most of their budget. Yeah, they're looking forward to Martinelli coming back now he's fit again, and hopefully, he'll make a difference when he comes in. But playing well and not winning games is, ultimately that'll cost you your job. Yeah,
well, it's been there almost a year. We heard it earlier on Game Day Live. Everton 2, Arsenal 1 in the Premier League. Holding own goal and Yerry Mina with the goals. Pepe with a penalty in reply for Arsenal. And Liverpool kicked off Game Day exclusive on TalkSport with a 7-0 victory at Crystal Palace. They're now 5 points clear at the top of the Premier League. Ball into the centre circle. Here's Joe Linton. He's got time. Here it's Newcastle 0, Fulham 1. Scott Parker just organising his team from the technical area. His team were very good in that first half. Don't forget, tomorrow we've got more live Premier League commentary exclusively live on the TalkSport network on TalkSport 2. Lunchtime start. Brighton taking on Sheffield United. Newcastle trying to get forward down the right. Ball breaks here to Matt Ritchie. Ritchie decides he wants to go past Lamine. Well, he's adjudged to have fouled Ritchie there. And again, does that not just come down to the fact that Lamine he's got brute strength, hasn't he? That was just strength, not a foul.
It reminds me of the former player at Fulham, Dembele, and Spurs. He's just so strong, and he brushes players away at ease. And that's just pure strength. And look, Lamina's really not happy with that decision. Look, wins the ball.
Scott Parker, he just cannot believe what he's just seen.
That's brilliant. That's getting back. If you've got a midfielder that can do that, get back the right side of the ball and win it and break away like Lamina does.
Well, this is a set-piece chance for Newcastle. It's about 25 yards out, but it's over on the right touchline, maybe 5 yards in. Ritchie, left-footed, is going to try and curl it towards the far post, you feel here. Everybody back again for Fulham. The Newcastle players in and around the edge of the area. Can they find an equaliser here? Ritchie with the delivery towards the far post. It's headed away. Falls edge of the area. Longstaff had a touch. It wasn't the best touch. Yedlin's under pressure. Oh, he was caught there. Did well to get the ball away to Ritchie. Ritchie, though, couldn't control it, and it's cleared. And now Fulham with Lookman will come forward. He gives the ball to Mitrovic. Mitrovic goes past Longstaff, but he's dispossessed. And Joe Linton, the furthest man back for Newcastle, will pick up the ball and come sprinting forward. 11 gone second half here on TalkSport, and it's Newcastle up against it here. They're looking. A win possibly would have taken them into the top 10 here today, as Longstaff was dispossessed, but he was fouled as well. And it's a free kick for Newcastle on halfway, taken quickly. Good play there. Joe Linton tries to find Wilson, who tried to find Ritchie, who thundered into the challenge, but Fulham's football is quick and accurate. Now they play it forward. Yedlin will hook the ball away, and Scott Parker shows a neat first touch and then rather just let the ball roll away behind him, waste another couple of seconds while he retrieves it. Robinson
he had a decent first touch, didn't he, Scott?
He did. Yeah. Played here over 70 times, of course, for Newcastle.
Outstanding midfielder. I was a big fan.
Ball forward for Mitrovic, didn't control it, but Fulham have the ball back here. The team all in yellow tonight. They lead by that Ritchie own goal, but Shelby is taking off Robinson. He finds Wilson. Wilson is up against Lamina. He holds him off and gets the ball back to Ritchie. Ritchie goes back now to Kieran Clark, and Clark will move it wide on the left to Dummett. His first start after an injury-ravaged 2020. Ball goes out on the far side. The left as Almiron has it. Newcastle attacking the Gallagate end here. They get the ball out wide to Yedlin. Ritchie runs off down the right touchline. He was the target. They try and play the ball in here for Joe Linton. Great first touch. Can he get the shot away? He's gone down under a challenge, but it was a good one from Anderson, and the ball cleared away. Well, the first touch from Joe Linton was a good one, but the ball just wouldn't sit down for him to hit it. And now Newcastle will come forward again from halfway. Hayden just took a bit of a knock there, just readjusts himself.
Great weighted ball in from Yedlin. He just couldn't quite get it out of his feet, could he, Joe Linton? He was waiting for the bounce, waiting for it to come down. It's a wonderfully weighted pass in from Yedlin.
Well, they didn't look to be a lot on, did they? But as John Hartson told you there, it was just the weight and the touch of the pass was fantastic. But Newcastle cannot turn that into a shot on target. They still trail by a goal to nil. Liverpool 7 goals at Crystal Palace this lunchtime. Manchester City 1-0 winners at Southampton, and Everton 2-1 winners over Arsenal. You heard that one live here on Game Day Exclusive earlier on. This is the third of 3 exclusive national radio commentaries on TalkSport today from the Premier League. Ball over the top, he's looking for Lookman. He's up against Hayden. His first touch wasn't good, but his pace gets him the ball back, and he gets past Hayden, and he goes past another defender. He's on the byline, he needs support. Robinson turns up and shows for him, and the ball cleared away for a throw-in. He might only be little and slight, Ademola Lookman, but
brilliant
his
touch out of the air from Lookman, does really well. And Yedlin gets back.
Well, here's Robinson. Long throw last time. He arrows this one into the near post. It's cleared away. Here's Ola Aina. Is he going to hit it from 25 yards? He dropped the shoulder on his right foot to maybe cut inside, and he's lost it. And Almiron now comes forward. And Joe Linton and Callum Wilson wait for the ball. Here's Wilson into the area. He's gone down. This is going to be a penalty. Penalty Newcastle on the break. And it was Callum Wilson who went down under the challenge, and the referee has no hesitation here in pointing to the spot.
He's got his shirt. I think his shirt is tugged back. You can just see Callum Wilson here makes the most of it. Clever. It's Anderson. It was Callum Wilson does him for pace.
Well, Anderson has already been booked, of course.
You can just see Almiron puts Wilson through, and it's just a tug of the shirt. I'm not quite sure. We can see it from another angle.
Well, the Fulham players are surrounding the official here, and they are having another look at this one. Now, the pull of the shirt was outside the box.
Yeah, it's not a penalty, it's a free kick, because the pull of the shirt was outside the box, and Callum Wilson carries on inside the box and then goes over.
Well, was there another touch inside the area? Because Anderson did run into the back of Wilson, and VAR will check. Wilson's got the ball under his arm. The Fulham players are still protesting. It's not Graham Scott that's making the decision.
Wilson's made a great run on his blind side, and it's not the initial pull of the shirt.
Well,
you're right, Mark. Is there more contact in the box? Is it a second contact?
And that's what the VAR official, who is Andrew Madley, is checking that right now. They've got the still on our little monitor here, and he's going to go have a look at the monitor on the far side of the field. Now, this is going to be the decision now put back in the hands of Graham Scott, who had no hesitation. He pointed straight to the spot, and Scott Parker looks away, and Steve Bruce is looking right over the far side of the field here. It is Newcastle 0, Fulham 1. Newcastle have been awarded a penalty after a lightning counter-attack. Callum Wilson went down in the area. It looked like the initial pullback was just on the edge of the area, but whether there was contact in the box thereafter, that is what Graham Scott has to decide. And all the Fulham players are walking over, and now he comes back on the field, and there could be more trouble here for Anderson because the card is coming out. Now he walked up to the player, didn't he? As though he was going to book him again or possibly send him straight off, and now he's gone back to the monitor. I think he wants to clarify which player it was here. So this could be double disaster for Fulham. They're now checking a possible red card here in the stadium, and Anderson's got his hands on his hips as Graham Scott walks forward to him, and now the card goes in the pocket, and it's a red one. Red card for Fulham, who are now down to 10 men, and Anderson, who's been booked just a few moments into the second half, has received a red card, and Fulham now are watching their afternoon or their evening disintegrate in front of their very eyes. He's Absolutely gutted, isn't he, the defender? He can't believe it.
What's he give? What's he giving?
Well, now he's walking up, and Wilson, who's got the ball under his arm, and this, I think, is still going to be a penalty kick. He's on the edge of the area, Graham Scott, and now he will say it is a penalty kick to Newcastle. So Callum Wilson, who scored 7 in 11, all those 7 goals have come in the second half for Newcastle. Is he about to make it 8 in 12 against 10-man Fulham? Anderson still hasn't left the field here. Areola stands just in front of the penalty spot. Callum Wilson waits. He's had the ball under his arm now, possibly for 2 or 3 minutes, John.
Well, Anderson had to go anyway for the initial foul outside the box. And then obviously he was on a yellow, so that's a booking anyway. It continued in the box, and there's more contact from Anderson on Wilson, and that's why the penalty has been given.
Wilson waits. Up against Alphonse Areola, who waits on the goal line. Here comes Wilson from the edge of the box, and he rolls it straight down the middle. Newcastle are level against 10-man Fulham at St James's Park, and Callum Wilson has his 8th Premier League goal of the season. And now Fulham maybe have got a mountain to climb here. They're going to make a change. Hector is instantly coming on for Kearney as Scott Parker tries to readjust his side on the run here, but it's a penalty, and it's calmly taken by Wilson.
Yeah, straight down the middle. Unbelievable how them penalties go in straight down the middle when the goalkeeper just moves. He's obviously felt contact, Wilson, and he's gone over.
Well, we mentioned right at the start of the game, John, about the fact he's got that pace. He gets in behind you, he's causing you problems, isn't he?
He's come from Anderson's blind side as well, hasn't he? It's a great run.
What a moment then for Newcastle. So Hector comes on, and Newcastle, who you have to say weren't looking too like they were going to score, have now got an equaliser.
They weren't. That changes the whole perspective now from Scott Parker. They sit now Fulham and take a draw away from you tonight, whereas 5 minutes ago before the penalty probably thinking of taking 3 points or even going on and scoring more goals. Fulham difficult now with 10 men. Wilson
and Adebayo having a real wrestling match there. Robinson cuts in off the touchline, the ball's on the halfway line. Fulham in front just before the break. That Matt Ritchie own goal before Callum Wilson equalises from the spot, and Newcastle have the ball over on the far side, and now they've got a free kick after Mitrovic trips the defender. You are listening to Newcastle versus Fulham on TalkSport with Now TV. Don't forget you can watch Newcastle against Fulham live right now with a Now TV Sky Sports Pass for just $9.99. Search Now TV for more details. 1-1 here, and you have to say against 10-man Fulham it's Newcastle's to win, surely. Lookman has the ball. He will become more vital, you feel, if they are going to get anything out of it, but they're still attacking Fulham with Robinson. He's gone past Ritchie, he drives to the edge of the area, he cuts back. Lookman and Mitrovic are in the box with Decord over Reed. Here's now is Mitrovic back to goal, trying to buy himself a yard on his right foot, tries to weave his way in, and when you're that big the gap's got to be a bit wider than that, hasn't it? And Newcastle again on the break, and Wilson slipped the last line of defence again, and he's gone down again, and Aina this time is judged to have bundled him over about 25 yards out from goal. We mentioned it in the first half, John, about Wilson and Joe Linton a couple of times. They got themselves 2-on-2, and that goal and the breakaway came when they were going to have a shot Fulham on the edge of the Newcastle box.
Well, Callum Wilson this half certainly looks a different player. He's running in behind, he's stretching the Fulham defence, he's physical, he's battling away, and he's getting the bounce of the ball. He's using his pace to his advantage. He won the penalty, then he slots the penalty away. So different player this half, but we know what he's capable of, Callum Wilson. That's what he is. He's powerful and he can score goals.
And they've got a free kick here, and it's Longstaff who's lining this one up. It's fully 25 yards out from goal. Sean Longstaff, he's going to have a shot here from distance, hammers it through the wall, and Areola down low to his right hand side, got down at the post to save it.
Yeah, decent effort from Longstaff, but again it's a save that you'd expect Areola to save. Hits it really well, good save, well held.
Still 1-1 here. All part of Game Day exclusive on TalkSport. And across the TalkSport network this week, we've got all 4 of the Carabao Cup quarter-finals. And you'll hear Newcastle at Brentford, 5:30 start on Tuesday night. That's live on TalkSport 2. And then Arsenal, Manchester City, live from 8 o'clock on TalkSport. Remember, download the TalkSport app, available for free in all the usual places. And you can swipe between TalkSport and TalkSport 2 and keep up with all the live sport. Catch up with any shows you may have missed as well throughout the week. Ball with Adara Bayo, gets it away to Robinson. He cut inside Yedlin and then turns him again, and then back comes Longstaff. He's got no one with him, Robinson, but he finds Lookman in the edge of the area. Lookman trying to get the shot away, fires it straight at Darlow, reacts quickly and beats the ball away. If that would have been a little bit wide of him, Darlow may have been in trouble there.
Oh yeah, straight down Darlow's throat really, but fantastic power. Lookman just drops his shoulder through the defender's legs and hit Darlow. Came at him with power and pace.
He just got the hands up in time.
Yeah, he did. That's
he?
all he could do. That's all he could do was just sort of block it away with his hands.
Newcastle 1, 10-man Fulham 1. Anderson sent off. He got booked on 46 minutes and then was adjudged to have pulled down Callum Wilson in the penalty area. He got a red card for that. As Anguissa now on the edge of the area tries to find Decord over Reed, and the ball cleared away by Yedlin. Well, to be fair, John Hartson, Fulham are having a go out there despite being pegged back down to 10 men. Yeah, they're continuing to play. They'll be one short in midfield now. Mitrovic will obviously play up front on his own as that focal striker, and he plays a big role now, Mitrovic, more so than the first half even, because Fulham will want to get out. Any sort of threat, they'll need to play it into Mitrovic, who will need to be strong and get them up the field. He didn't have a lot of play in the first half, but in fairness, because Fulham were camped in the Newcastle half, it's not really playing to his strengths, is it? No. Well, here now come Newcastle. Shelvey again drops deep to collect the ball. Scott Parker applauds his team, encourages them to remain in shape and stay disciplined here. They've drawn twice with Liverpool and Brighton in their last 2 games, and maybe, as John said, they may take a point here, but they have tried to attack since they went down to 10 men and were pegged back by that Wilson penalty. That's an amazing stat, that, isn't it? Wilson, 8 goals, all have come in the second half. Ball flipped round the corner. Lamina loses out to Longstaff. He's driving forward on his left foot. Now he goes over. Lamina that time wasn't adjudged to have fouled him, and now Anguissa will break. Richie tried to trip him up there. Anguissa gets it away to Lookman. Mitrovic waits in the middle. Decord Reed is on the far post. Lookman is just standing waiting. Tries to find a teammate. Decord Reed back to Lookman on his right foot. He's just had a shot from this kind of distance. He tries to find Ola Aina on the far side, and Aina just had to scramble back, and Hector knocks it long. It's headed away by Yedlin, and Lamina has it on the edge of the centre circle. Shelvey takes it away. Here's Almiron. Neat turn, gets him away from Lamina, and he finds now Joe Linton. Linton's got Wilson in front of him. He goes out on the left here to dumb it. Newcastle are about to bring on Dwight Gale, the man who got the winner here against West Bromwich Albion in their last home fixture. 1-1 here, 20 minutes left on TalkSport. John Joe Shelvey gets the ball away. Here now is Joe Linton. Gets it away. Almost broke to Richie, edge of the area. Couldn't control it. He throws his arms in the air in frustration, and Areola will come out and collect the ball. I think Newcastle have to go for it now. You can tell he's putting on a striker, Dwight Gale. We know Dwight Gale can score you a goal. Most definitely. It's and he has to go for it. 11 v 10 last 20 minutes or so. Steve Bruce is doing the right thing. Well, there's a ball over the top here. Joe Linton's got into the edge of the area against Hector. He tries to cut inside him. He gets to the ball. Areola comes out, and Joe Linton caught him there on the knee. The referee's happy to play on because he saw Areola get up. He was brave, the goalkeeper. The touch just a little bit heavy from Joe Linton. He did the right thing but couldn't get on the end of it. Now Decord Reed is away down the right-hand side. Clark goes across to confront him. Mitrovic in the middle. He's there, edge of the area. He tried to give it back to Decord Reed, who's bundled over edge of the area down the right-hand side. That's a free kick 15 yards away from the dead ball line. They still continue to attack, and they are going to make a change as well. Ruben Loftus-Cheek is stripped and ready to come on. Dwight Gale is stood next to the 4th official. He's stripped and ready to come on for Newcastle as both sides look to change things as we go inside the final 20 minutes. Dangerous free kick this, John Hartson. Yeah, it's in a dangerous area. It's Lookman that's gonna cross it in from that right-hand side, but you got Andre Bayo, who played a huge role in Fulham's obviously first goal, which gave them the lead.
Hector has gone up the pitch, just looking for a good delivery here, because you probably feel this is probably Fulham's best chance of scoring, considering they have 10 men from a set piece.
Yeah, well, the set piece going to be taken here. It's probably a yard outside the penalty area, isn't it, on the right-hand side. Lookman has gone across to take it. There are 4 yellow shirts waiting in and around the penalty spot. Ball now goes whipped to the far post, and at the back post Hector was coming in, and that is a really good defensive clearance from Yedlin. It's out for a corner.
Yeah, it is brilliant from Yedlin. It's come in, it's whipped in with real pace from the right hand side from Lookman. It's a brilliant ball across the 6-yard box. Yedlin gets there.
It's currently
before Hector.
Yeah, it's currently Newcastle 1, Fulham 1. For the latest odds, head to Betfair, the official betting partner of TalkSport's Premier League coverage, where right now you can get Newcastle at 9-5, Fulham 6-1 the draw, 10-11. That's all thanks to Betfair. More ways to bet, more ways to win. 18+. BeGambleAware.org. And if you back Fulham, they've got a corner here that's whipped into the near post. It comes off a Newcastle head, and it's behind for successive corners here. And Lookman will look to deliver again. And Newcastle in action here. They're also in action, as we said, TalkSport 2, Tuesday night, 5:30, Brentford, Newcastle. It's 8 o'clock on TalkSport for Arsenal, Manchester City. And then on Wednesday, 5:30 start, Stoke against Tottenham on TalkSport 2. And at 8 o'clock, Everton, Manchester United. All 4 Carabao Cup quarter-finals are live on the TalkSport network this week. The football coming thick and fast here. Don't forget on TalkSport 2 tomorrow, Brighton against Sheffield United. Here it's 1-1. The corner is about to be taken for Fulham, who are down to 10 men. Ball whipped in again to the far post. Darlow comes and gets a good one-handed punch away. Oh, and there's a miscontrol there from Lemina, and now it's 2-on-2. Almiron leads the charge. Robinson goes across. Wilson sprinting to get with him, and then Almiron goes down, and that will be a free kick. Hector bundled him over, and still Dwight Gale, who's been stripped for about 5 minutes, is about to come on, and Joel Linton will make way. He's worked hard, Joel Linton,
yes,
but
he
hasn't
has
quite had the look around the area.
No, but Steve Bruce likes him to partner Callum Wilson, doesn't he? Although, Wilson will always get you more goals than Linton, in my opinion. But it's just for whatever reason, Steve Bruce maybe sees Linton as a really good foil for Wilson. Seems to play a lot, Linton.
He does, despite the lack of goals.
Without getting the goals, yeah.
Well, he's gone off now, and John Joe Shelby is 30 yards outside over a free kick. Well, Dwight Gale got the winner here in Newcastle's last game against West Bromwich Albion. Here is the cross from the left-hand side, headed away by Lemina. And Fulham, who look comfortable at 1-0, and Anderson sending off, really has turned this game around. It led to the penalty that was dispatched by Callum Wilson. And now Newcastle going hunt of the winning goal. Longstaff has it on the right-hand side, puts in, well, it was a cross, but it's going to go straight over and hits the advertising board in behind the goal. And now we will see Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and he is coming on for Alexander Mitrovic. So no return goal for Mitrovic. He now is 11 without a goal for Fulham, and Loftus-Cheek comes on. John Hartson, your thoughts on this one?
Well, for me, he's taken the centre forward off, one of your potential goal scorers. He's worked hard, Mitrovic. He hasn't had a lot of luck in front of goal. Everything he's had to do, he's held it up. And by Scott Parker now putting on Loftus-Cheek, a midfield player who can get a goal, by the way. He's a forward-thinking midfield player, an offensive type. And he's going to go up there looking like they're going to play with a false number 9, I think.
Robinson heads it forward. Loftus-Cheek wins the header straight away, using his height to good effect there, and the ball cleared away.
They still have plenty of threats with Deco Dover-Reid and of course Lookman, but there'll be nobody like a Mitrovic now, Mark. They'll have nobody as a focal point.
Yeah, I just wonder, I'll come back to my point in a minute, as Yedlin got high above Loftus-Cheek and clears it away, but then Loftus-Cheek harries in. I just wonder, when you're playing on the break and they're quick down the sides, the likes of Robinson and Lookman, Mitrovic looked to be struggling to get forward as quick as them and into the edge of the area. It's not his game, that, is it?
What you've got, I had similar problems with that when I played with Giggs and Bellamy for Wales. I've got to make sure I don't come too deep, because when we broke with serious pace either side. So I've got to make sure that I'm not coming too deep. I'm almost playing up against their centre half, because when we broke, I had to make sure I was in the box.
13 minutes left here. Fulham have won it high up the field. Declan Overeem on the far side, rolls it to Lookman. Lookman just lays it off to Anguissa, and Anguissa looked for the first time ball. He was looking for Robinson, who was an outlet again on the near side, but the pass was a poor one, and it goes behind for a goal.
You have to say, Mark, you've got to give Steve Bruce and his Newcastle players a lot of credit. They've come out in the second half with a real intent to be better than what they were in the first half. They passed it better. They looked more of a threat. They had a lot more urgency. They got the goal. And, you know, in the last sort of 10-15 minutes here now with the extra man, they looked the more likely to go and get the winner.
Ryan Fraser's about to come on, and he is coming on for the man who has made his first appearance in almost a year, Paul Dummett. And with games coming thick and fast, Richie's going to go across to that left back position. Fraser will come out on the right hand side, and Dummett goes off. Steve Bruce will be delighted to have him back, and you don't want to push him too hard. He's been a year out, you know, various problems including hamstring injuries, and Dummett will be happy to get that 78 minutes back under his belt.
Yeah, he will. Good for Wales as well, Paul Dummett being fit.
Yeah, it is. Euros coming up, of course. Ball here with Longstaff, gets it away to Dwight Gale. Gale finds Shelvey, and the ball goes out wide, and there is Ritchie, and Ritchie now just rolls it down the line. Fraser's popped up on that far side. Here's Dwight Gale back to goal, and Guisa closes him down. Here now is Fraser. Two Newcastle players wait in the box. Here's Ritchie on the overlap, crosses a scuffed one. Lamina slid in it, I think expecting a really hard low cross, and he almost had to wait for it to reach him, and the ball will be played forward by Fulham, who are 1-1 here. They were in front just before half-time. Matt Ritchie's own goal on 42 minutes, but the game really changed on 63. Wilson on the break, brought down by Anderson. Anderson shown a red card, and now here Newcastle look to get themselves in front. Cross comes in towards Gale, and Areola let Tyus with his arms in the air and collects the ball. Wilson from the penalty spot sent Areola the wrong way. 1-1. You have to say though again, John, since the penalty, Fulham have given as good as they've got, haven't they?
Yeah, even with 10 men, the evidence that I've seen tonight, Mark, Fulham will have more than enough, I think, to stay in the Premier League. But they've got to maybe score more goals, but midfield been really, really impressed with Anguissa tonight and Lamina. Two really, really good players in the middle of the park they have, and of course they've got threats and they've got pace.
Ball played down the channel here for Almiron, who's trying to get past Robinson, who fouls him, and you may have heard a bit of choice language there. It's from Alexander Mitrovic, who's just to our left hand side, who clearly John Hartson didn't think that was a foul.
No, I know, he's screaming at the players. I think Scott Parker's going to have a word.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
Almiron, he's very small and slight, and he runs at players on the slightest touch and he goes over. It's happened 2 or 3 times this second half.
Well, Robinson got a booking for that challenge, and Ritchie will come across and take it. He's 25 yards out from goal, but he's only a couple of yards in from the right touchline, so he's going to left-footed swing it in. Everybody back for Fulham. 1-1 for them. A point wouldn't be the worst outcome from this one. Certainly not having had a man sent off and being pegged back at 1-1. But Newcastle want all 3 points, and they're now going to look to put this ball into the penalty area here, live on TalkSport, looking for the winner. Ball floated towards the far post, it's bundled towards goal, headed away by Adara Bio, and here's Lamina, who's been strong and good all afternoon, and he drives his way forward. And now Anguissa, if he looks up, he had Lookman on the charge on the near side, but Anguissa holds off the challenge of Gale, and he's up to the halfway line, gets the pass away to Loftus-Cheek on that far side. Ball played in. Here's Loftus-Cheek again. Gets it to Anguissa. Again, Lookman's in a great position in the middle. If they can get the ball over, they try and win the throw-in. And over on the far side, Fulham do have a throw-in down by the corner flag in the Newcastle left-back position.
Good play from Lamina and Anguissa. 2 very important players if Fulham are going to survive this season.
Well, Alexander Mitrovic he's like a firework down below you, John, isn't he? He's gone off since he came off the field. He's stood up, he's clapping, he's shouting.
I thought the fans were allowed back in for a minute then.
I'm going to say, here's Declan Overeem with a throw in. It skims off a Newcastle head. Shelvey hasn't cleared it. It's bouncing around in the penalty area, and eventually it's hooked away. by Almiron up towards halfway. Hector really just shovels the ball in the air, and Fraser, not the biggest in the air, actually won the header, but Lamina in again, and shows it's not just all about strength, there's a bit of skill in there as well.
In the park.
82 minutes gone.
Been outstanding.
He has. 8
Quick,
minutes.
strong, gets goal side, can go forward. Great delivery, like we saw that pass from Decordova Reed in the first half. Decordova Reed should have scored, actually, shouldn't he?
We should have hit the target.
Oh, it was a great
chance, at the very least.
But the ball was different class.
It was exquisite. 1-1. Richie's own goal just before the break. Callum Wilson from the penalty spot on 63 as Newcastle break down their left-hand side, but Olorena is quick enough to get back and shepherd the ball over the goal line. Just a word of warning for Fulham. Newcastle has scored 8 goals already this season in the final 15 minutes of game, so they come alive as the game gets old.
It tells you they go till the final kick, till the final whistle.
Well, they left it late again here.
It's belief as well, Mark, that when you scored 8 goals, it's having the belief to keep going, keep pressing.
Areola will take the goal kick. 7 minutes of normal time remaining here. Ball played forward, headed out. You're listening to Newcastle versus Fulham on TalkSport with WeBuyAnyCar.com. There's now 350 branches nationwide. Find your closest now. 6.5 to go. A little bit more animation from the Fulham bench. Scott Parker looks on. I think whatever the outcome of the game here, he'll be very pleased with how his team have performed. He'll just hope that they get a result of a positive nature. Hector misses the header. Gale picks the ball up centre circle. Here's Almiron. Gale goes over, pushed by Lamina. Almiron gets the ball. He's looking for a pass and he finds one over on the far side. Shelvey takes the ball away from Ritchie. Now he gives it to Ritchie, and Fulham fall back into their shape here, hoping that they can hang firm as the ball now is worked to Yedlin. Newcastle moving from side to side. Right-footed cross comes in and it's blocked. Good work, good tracking back by Lookman as well, and it's out for a throw-in.
You need that. You need Lookman, you need Loftus-Cheek now, and you need players to get back in. Just give everything this last six or 7 minutes. Try and take a point away from home, which would be a decent point considering we spent most of the second half with 10 men.
And if they do get a result here, it'd be 1 defeat in 5 for Fulham, which does represent a significant upturn in form. It's
just turning those draws into wins.
Yeah.
Because too many draws will cost you at the end of the season. We look at the table.
Well, here's Longstaff, tries to feed it in. Wilson back to goal in the D. He's going to shoot a cross goal. Areola was down, but it was wide anyway. Just looking at the games that Fulham have got coming up, they go to Southampton on Boxing Day, then they're at Spurs. They've got Southampton at home on Boxing Day, they're away at Spurs and Burnley before they face Chelsea. So there's a couple of tricky ones and a couple of ones they might fancy getting some results from.
Spurs and Chelsea be far from easy.
Well, it's the goal kick.
Southampton are going really well, although they got beat today to City, didn't they?
They did earlier on. Sterling with a goal. Southampton 0, Manchester City 1 earlier on Game Day exclusive. Crystal Palace 0, Liverpool 7. Liverpool 5 points clear at the top, and they're clear of Everton, their Merseyside rivals. Everton 2, Arsenal 1. You heard that one here exclusively live on National Radio on TalkSport this afternoon, and we're live here at St James's Park where Newcastle won, Fulham won. 4 minutes left, and you have to say Fulham have seen this out. They went down to 10 on 63 minutes. Anderson sent off, Wilson from the spot levelled it up, but so far Scott Parker's men are doing more than enough to hold on. But there is still time for Newcastle or Fulham to win the game here. Longstaff heads it forward. Gale beaten in the air by Hector. That is a height mismatch. Wilson up against Adara Bayo, and he almost won it, but Hector was there. It's not pretty at times from Hector, but it was effective on that occasion. He pumps it downfield. Loftus-Cheek,
good.
Will give chase.
Loftus-Cheek's come on. He's got plenty of legs, plenty of running in him. Hector there with the big ball through the middle. Loftus-Cheek getting onto it, winning a throw-in for Fulham. In Newcastle's defensive third.
1-1 here. Would be Newcastle's first home draw in the Premier League this season. As Almiron clears it forward. Here now is Wilson. Again, he showed his initial strength, but Adarabayo gets the ball away to Lookman, who's going forward. He'd love to score another goal here, but he's taken away from the ball, and now Shelvey will bring it forward. You've got to admire the way that Fulham have come here and played today. Dominated the ball in the first half, deservedly in front at half-time, and ultimately that one error from Anderson that led to the red card and the penalty really has cost them. Here's Yedlin, plays it down. Here's Almiron into the edge of the area. Just skip past his man. Can he find a delivery into the area now? No, he'll get the ball back on the touchline. Gets it to Longstaff. Longstaff waits. He's looking for movement from Yedlin. He gives it to Yedlin, who's instantly confronted, and Lamina clears the ball away, but he's gone down clutching the back of his calf or the back of his knee here, Lamina, and he looks in a bit of trouble, doesn't he? I don't think this is designed to waste a few seconds, John. He's gone down in a heap and he's laid down, and instantly, or maybe it's just a touch of cramp
in his calf, maybe.
Yeah.
So that's how it looks anyway.
Yeah, it's just having that
he's
leg
holding
stretch.
his calf, his right calf.
It's out for a throw-in, but what it does do, it breaks up any flow Newcastle were hoping to build up. We're into the 89th minute now, 1-1 here.
I think there'll be 4 or 5 minutes because we had that VAR decision, didn't we, which took up a bit of time. I think there's been quite a few subs, hasn't there, substitutions. Probably looking at a 5 minutes mark. I'm no expert, but...
Yeah, educated guess. John Hartson with us here on TalkSport tonight, as the ball now moves forward. Newcastle have it over on the far side, their left hand side. Cross comes in towards the near post. Hector headed it down, and then Ola Aina clears it away, but only as far as Ritchie on the far side. Can Newcastle conjure up an opening here? 1-1. Wilson from the penalty spot levelled things up, but they've not had too many sight as a goal thereafter, and that's credit to the way that Fulham have managed this situation down to 10 men. Shelvey tried to slide it through to Almiron, who is just in the middle behind Gale and Wilson. They've got the attacking threat there, they just need to get them the ball. Fulham at the moment are keeping them at arm's length here.
But they're just sat, Fulham, 10 men behind the ball. It's up to Newcastle to try and be a bit more positive here in the last 4 or 5 minutes and just try and break Fulham down.
Well, here's Fraser, gets the ball away. Here now is Almiron, who's come back to the halfway line. He slides it forward to Gale. There's not much movement from the men in the yellow shirt. They're happy with the ground they're holding. In comes the cross towards Wilson, headed away. Adarabayo clears it away, and it's hooked forward by Hayden. And Guisa with a header on, but it's picked up by Shelvey. Here comes the fourth official. There's a free kick over on the far side, and you were right, John Hartson, it was a good guess.
I promise I didn't see the board, you know. I didn't see the board. They didn't have it up when we spoke about it.
5 minutes added on time. We're into them now on TalkSport at St James's Park. Newcastle fire the ball in. Hector heads it up in the air. Wilson trying to get underneath it. Ball will break edge of the area, and Fulham have it, and they look now surely to get the ball away, but Anguissa just dribbles the ball casually across the edge of his 18-yard box, and then he gets it away to Lookman, and look at Robinson driving forward. Lookman has got him with him. Lookman tries to cut in field, and Robinson's just from 60 yards from nothing.
Played Robinson was running out to the corner as well. Lookman obviously fancied the opportunity to have a strike on goal, but had to play in Robinson there.
Well, we're into the 5 added on minutes. We've almost had the first of those. It'll be a minimum of 5 added on minutes, of course. Newcastle 1, Fulham 1 here at St James's Park tomorrow in the Premier League. We're live on TalkSport 2. Brighton Sheffield United from lunchtime, 12 o'clock tomorrow. Download the app, take us with you wherever you're going this weekend. Here come Newcastle now. Gale and Almiron exchange passes. Cross from Almiron to the far post. Good header away by Aina. And there's Dekodiva Reid in his own box. Just volleys it to the halfway line. We've had just over a minute. Here's Darlow, comes racing out of his box to keep the ball alive for Newcastle. That was a decent ball in, wasn't it?
Great, got to say though, brilliant defensive positional from Ella Aina. Yep. What a defensive header that was.
Here's Yedlin. Newcastle will not rush. They're looking for precision and accuracy to maybe open up Fulham and win the match. Ball played forward. Oh, it hit Fraser on the back, didn't it? And it comes away. And
Ola Aina again involved there. Great defending.
Loftus-Cheek was looking to get on the break there. And now Longstaff goes the other way. Ball over the top. Gale now has got down the side, but Adebayo gets across and watches it out and then just kicks the ball over the hoarding.
Too big and strong. Adebayo and Hector, two big, powerful defenders.
Well, Scott Parker's looking at the ground. He's just kicking a little bit of the turf.
He'll be frustrated with the way that that Fulham have let Newcastle back into the game. Yes, Newcastle started the second half on the front foot, looked brighter in the second half, Newcastle. Then the penalty came. I thought Anderson he got caught the wrong side, and then obviously the penalty, and then he's got to go because he's already on a yellow, and that has just turned the game in favour of Newcastle.
Ball played downfield. Here's Lookman, been good today. Loftus-Cheek can't keep it in, and then Guisa throws the ball away in frustration because he thought that Fulham were going to get a throw in there. Hayden gets on the end of the throwing quickly. Darlow now, we've had 3 of the 5 added on minutes, and to be fair, Fulham have got Newcastle exactly where they want them, and that's about 70 yards away from goal. We are about to see another Fulham change. Joe Bryan is stripped and ready to come on as Scott Parker maybe just tries to take this thing out of it, but will he get on the field? Here's Yedlin. Yedlin puts a cross in from the right hand side. It's headed upwards and away. Longstaff was eased off the ball there, and it's headed away by Anguissa. Hayden heads it forward. Here's Lookman. Lookman will kick the ball high into the night sky here. It's headed away by Clark, but it's going to go out for a throw-in, and Fulham are in no rush to take it. Now they will bring on Bryant, and he is coming on at the expense of Ademola Lookman, who's been outstanding. And a bit of breaking news here on TalkSport. I can understand that head coach Vladimir Ivic has been sacked by Watford. They were beaten this afternoon at Huddersfield. So Watford looking for yet another new boss. As now Anguissa nicks the ball high up the field. Deckard over-Reed waits in the middle, tries to pull it back. Did that hit an arm? Did that hit a Newcastle arm? They're screaming. They're surrounding the referee.
Got to have a look at
and this surely has to go to VAR. Lamina has got his hands on his face, and surely they've got to check it. And Anguissa kept the ball in. He ran along the byline. He passed it. It looked like it hit a Newcastle boot. Bounced up. It looked like it hit the arm. And yes, it hits the hand. And Mitrovic is furious. And the referee here, Graham Scott, has waved it away. It's going to be play on.
It's hit Kieran Clark's hand. Definitely hit his hand.
Well, they feel they should have had a penalty, Fulham.
Can't believe the referee's not even had a look at it.
Well, this is a cross from Bryan. He's just come on towards Adebayo, gets something on it. Deckard Reed goes down in the box, but as he was trying to curl the ball back in field, Newcastle looking to break. That looked like a foul from Hector, and I think he'll get a yellow card for that. It was an unnecessary challenge, and we are in added on time. Well, Steve Bruce looks across at the fourth official. I'm sure he'd have been screaming for a penalty if it had been at the other end.
Totally unintentional. Kieran Clark, he's hit his hand. The ball's bounced up and hit his hand.
Well, the referee...
Oh, Steve Bruce, yeah, he's having a little few words with Scott Parker, but I'm sure if it was the other end, absolutely, Mark.
Last throw of the dice here for Newcastle. 1-1 here. We're in added on time. And Newcastle just have to throw it forward. It's out wide to Fraser. Everybody back for Fulham. They need to get the ball in the box quickly, and they don't. And there goes the full-time whistle here. The Newcastle players sink to the ground in frustration. They were outplayed in the first half. Fulham deservedly in front after they missed several good chances in the first half. They eventually went in front from a corner. Adebayo's header bounced into the ground. It hit Matt Ritchie in the face and went into the back of the net. And Fulham deservedly in front of the break. But the game changed on 63 minutes. Newcastle on the counter-attack. Callum Wilson on the edge of the area was fouled by Joachim Andersen. And as he went into the penalty area, it looked like that foul play continued. Referee on the spot gave a penalty. VAR checked it. Andersen was sent off. And Callum Wilson calmly rode the penalty down the middle for his 8th goal of the season to level things up. But try as they might, Newcastle just couldn't find a winner. And Fulham, they had half chances of their own at the other end. It's a spirited effort from Fulham, who are now 3 unbeaten. For Newcastle, it's the first home draw of the season. Honours even at St James's Park. It finishes here. Newcastle 1, Fulham 1.